So 2022 is in the bag, and to be completely honest, it went so quickly, and it's great to be free of the pandemic editing backlog. I met some amazing couples and I've attended some really nice venues. It always makes my job so much easier when the wedding party are super chilled and I just get that friend at a wedding with a camera vibe. Absolutely love it. 2022 was a pivotal year for me and my business. As 2021 was ending, I was planning a rebrand and completely changing my style of shooting. Well, not completely, mostly stepping away from off-camera flash work and concentrating more on the moments, the emotions, the super tight hugs and tears, the dad dancing, of course, and the utterly wild half-naked shoulder carries. For me, this is where the important images are. For 5 years, I documented such moments, but always had some epic or creative ideas to bust out at weddings, which always looked great, don't get me wrong, but going after the big shot to win an award was the wrong approach for me. And at the end of 2021, I had to reflect and ask myself some big questions, mainly why? Why am I shooting off-camera flash epics? The answer was a rather ego-driven one, and I'm not afraid to say that. It was to win awards and build up reputation amongst photographers, which, to be fair, has and did help my business. With a big bag of reflection and a hard look in the mirror, I rebranded the business and my complete approach to concentrate on the things that made me happy, the moments. I love to document the human interaction, and even dropping posing from my style and approach was completely freeing. No more couples standing in a field like a pair of penguins touching foreheads. You know what I mean. 2022 was also my final year of shooting quantity. The final ever year of 60 weddings and the dreaded triple headers. 2023 will see me transition to just 40 weddings this year and 30 weddings in 2024. With 2025 seeing me complete the transition to shooting just 20 select weddings per year, with 3 to 5 destination weddings on top. This 2-year transition from 60 weddings per year to 20 to 25 should free up around 8 months of the working year to concentrate on several other key factors which will push my business forward, such as time for actual marketing, whether that's Instagram scheduling, blogging, culling, editing, and working on a very big project over the next 2 years with some YouTube thrown in for good measure. I'm really looking forward to 2023 and beyond after taking some big leaps forward in 22. Targeting destination weddings and weddings throughout the UK, not just my locality such as London, Cheshire, the Cotswolds, to name but a few. I have my first Tuscany wedding booked in too for 2024. Who doesn't love the Italian vibes, right? So, with the intro out the way, let's check out some images. I'm going to showcase maybe 25 images out of my favourite 100 from 2022. As I've been talking through the magic of post-production, you'll have seen some of the other 75 images. So let's dive in with some explanation about my best of year images. 1. So I shot this image whilst at a wedding in Cheshire. This is Emma, the bride's sister, tight to the side of the frame, crying during the speeches. I love the soft, gentle touch from her partner on the arm too. I've brought out the tears in post with a bit of highlight and exposure dodge. I do that with every image I see tears. It really makes a difference, so give it a go. 2. At the exact same wedding, I shot this. Dance floor party time, it's going down, the moves are flying, and it's time to pour Prosecco down the bridesmaid's neck. Standard, right? I absolutely love it. I'm in there tight on my 35mm, close enough to touch Emma's arm if I want to. Don't be afraid to get in the action. 3. Steph. Walking down the stairs in her family home, a home I've been to quite a few times, as her brother is a close family friend. I love the simple frames, but if I can spice it up with a bit of creativity, in this case using a mirror, I'm going to do it. I wait for Steph to come down the stairs, and Bob's your uncle. The trick with this type of shot is to use a large depth of field, or as I did, a combination of depth of field and manual focus on the middle of the stairs and wait for the action. 4. This frame from Laura and Kat's wedding I absolutely love. It's nothing special, just people eating their meal, but I love it for that. The rustic nature of the wood table, the simplicity of the table decor, the black plates rather than bog standard white. It just all works for me. The vantage point being directly above is a key player and why this photo works so well. Anytime you can change the viewer's perspective from the dead zone, you'll always get interesting photos. 5. Neil. Who doesn't love an emotional groom as he sees his wife-to-be walking down the aisle? Perfect. Not much more to say. I just love the emotion in the frame. 6. Steph getting out the car. I have a video in the production timeline for going behind the curtain on some of my photographs. You'd be very interested to see the straight out camera on this one. It was shot with intention to frame Steph's leg getting out of the car. We have expensive shoes, dress and a car, and it's great to show these in a different way to the dead zone. Okay, twice I've mentioned the dead zone, by which I just mean the bog standard photo position, you know, fully stood up, just shooting the entire scene from the generic camera position. 7. Hannah and Andrew. Looking amazing in her Suzanne Neville gown. So with sunset approaching, I've used my app earlier in the day. You can use photo pills. I used the photographer's ephemeris to visualise the sun position for sunset. On this wedding day, the sun would have been behind a load of trees at sunset. However, using the sun app lets me know exactly what time to have the sun in the perfect spot. And then it's all down to composition, moment, and a slight white balance shift in post. Job done. 8. Same venue as the groom photo in number 5, but a different wedding. This isn't Neil's bride. This is Steph, the bride coming down the stairs in image 6. I love her reaction to the groom, as she's only a few steps away from him. I'm probably biased as I've known her and the family for probably 20 years, but again, it's a simple frame, filled with emotion and has value to the bride and her family. 9. This is a good example of how you change as a photographer over the years. Back in 2018, when I first started, maybe even 2019, I may have culled this image for not being 100% sharp, but it's passable, and the moment and emotion carries the image. It's actually in my top 10 for 2022. I love it. Jess dancing with her dad and getting overwhelmed, it was a beautiful moment. 10. If I have to explain why this is my favourite for 2022, stop, leave, right now. I mean, come on, look at this little dude in his pimped up ride, stealing the show. 11. These two girls were killing the dance floor at Middleton Lodge. Their expressions and the fact that they're really good looking sells the shot, along with the colours and the live band and for how close I am. This shot would look completely different on an 85mm or even a 14mm. Again, just getting the action, guys. I talked to this girl and her partner for around 15 minutes during the night, and since the wedding, I've chatted on Instagram too. She loves my work, and she works on super yachts and is flying me out to South Africa once the boyfriend finally pops the question. It pays to chat to the guests and just be friendly, smile, and have a good time is the moral of that story. 12. This shot was taken as I was shooting the ceremony. I looked over at the groomsman who was sat with the rings and took a shot of his hands, and then blacked his legs and other parts in post to create an isolated black and white. This photo literally was created on the wedding day with intention in around 1 second. Going from the couple saying their vows to the hands and straight back to the couple, it was really quick. The moral of the story is to be actively looking at everyone in the ceremony. Don't just focus on the couple. 13. Who doesn't love a granddad at a wedding? This gent looked ace too. Black and white just works with old people. Tell me I'm wrong. 14. Deb's crying during the speeches. Tight to the side of the frame, nailing the moment. Nothing else to say. Let's move on. 15. A beautiful moment between the bride's mum and dad whilst watching their daughter get married. Again, don't just focus on the couple the entire wedding day, as I've just mentioned in image 12. There's so many beautiful moments happening elsewhere. 16. Hannah and Andrew again from earlier in their day, this time about 5 hours before the sunset photo as they come out of the church. Always tell your couples that the expressions are what makes a confetti walk, so just have fun with it, guys. 17. Newcastle's best kept secret. The Secret Tower. A solid white venue room which they actually repaint after every wedding. It's like a giant softbox. I honestly felt like I was cheating shooting this venue. 18. Hannah and Andrew again. God, I love these guys. Simple but beautiful frame, holding hands and going for a walk during the couple portraits. 19. It's Hannah's dad. This photo is in my top 5 for 2022. Absolutely love it. The emotion from dad, Hannah's hand touching his shoulder. The only thing that would make this even better would have been a cleaner background. But here, it's a wedding morning in someone's kitchen. 20. Okay, we've got 5 images to go. This one was taken in Warwickshire at my final wedding of 2022 in December. This is Steph wiping a tear during the speeches. I get lots of photos throughout the year of people crying during speeches, but this one just resonated with me. Maybe as I got on so well with Steph, the venue was amazing in Ragley Hall, and the mood and look was on point. 21. Shot at 10:42 in Cheshire. This is exactly why I'm transitioning to just 20 weddings per year and staying late as part of my core offering. You're never photographing this at 8 PM, 3 minutes before you jump in the car and go home. 22. Steph and James at Ragley again. It was a December wedding. There wasn't much of a sunset, but with some know-how, you can make a killer image. It's all in the prep work, guys. Checking where the sun will be earlier in the day, as I said earlier, using photo pills or the photographer's ephemeris. Prepare yourself for success. 23. Again, same as the previous photo, knowing the sun is going to drop behind the trees 5 to 10 minutes after this photo, I made sure we were out at the right time to frame the shot. Depending on your lens of choice, you can get some really cool flares shooting into the sun. In this shot, you can see a small flare. The 35mm G Master 1.4 has some amazing coatings on the lens, but I wish it did flare a bit more. 24, final photo, guys. I had to end on these two. It was one of my top 3 weddings of 2022, and this image is a great one to end the showcase on. I mean, come on, half naked with your wife's face printed on your underwear. Of course you're going to show it off and get a shoulder carry. Standard. So I hope you've enjoyed the images on the screen. They represent but a fraction of the killer images I documented in 2022. There were so many that just missed a cut, but are awesome images in their own right. I'm constantly finding new favourite photos long after the weddings have ended, which is why I always advocate revisiting past weddings in your Lightroom libraries when you have some downtime. Some of the images featured have also won awards in 2022, especially from the Masters of Wedding Photography, which means a lot coming from people who understand what it takes to produce award-worthy images. Touching on the Masters, sore subject, I held the #1 spot for 9 months of 2022 and was pipped to the post in the final quarter to eventually come second for Photographer of the Year. Oh well, there's always 2024. So that was a little look back at 2022. I really hope you enjoyed the images, and just like usual, I'll see you in the next video.